Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but real quick question. I want to know what sensitivity you guys think I'm on, okay? Leave it down in the comment section below. So today we're going to be talking about how to get your aim better when it comes to tracking. And although there's not a lot of tracking in Modern Warfare 3, there is still times where you need to track an enemy because the time to kill is a little longer than you expect. Sometimes not all your bullets hit, or sometimes you're just using a weaker gun than your opponent and you have to track the enemy. So if you guys didn't comment already, I am at 3.4 sensitivity, 800 DPI, and I'm at 1.33 monitor coefficient. Again, I'm going to talk about monitor coefficient in a second, but the biggest thing when it comes to tracking is your setup. You want to have less micro corrections along your tracking or when you get tracking. So the first thing you have to really be good at is centering. As you notice the gameplay in the background, my centering is pretty good. Right when I ADS, I'm already on the enemy. And then from there, it's a smooth tracking experience. What I mean by that is once you're already on the enemy, then you just got to track their movements, right? And it all comes down to your setup, right? What I mean by your setup is when it comes to you acquiring that enemy and getting on target. You want to have as little time to get on target as possible. And that could be if you're ADSing going into, or not ADSing, you're going to hip fire into ADS. That is one thing that's going to help you. And one thing that's going to help you a lot when it comes with tracking is play a smaller map, right? A lot of people are going to say, well, that sensitivity is really slow. Again, 3.4 at an 800 DPI, 1.33 monitor coefficient. A lot of people are going to say, dang, that sensitivity is super slow. It's about a 55 centimeter, 54 centimeter, 360 or 50 centimeter. I don't exactly remember, but somewhere in there, right? And you playing on a smaller map, it's going to get your hands used and your arms used and those different muscle groups used to moving your hand around a lot and being extremely accurate as possible. Now, I'm not saying that this sensitivity is good for you. What I'm going to be saying is find the sensitivity where you have to use more of your arm movement for tracking, right? For me, it's this sensitivity right here. Find the sensitivity where you have to use different muscle groups in order to track the enemy. You don't want to be tracking them with your wrist, right? You want to be tracking them with your arm, and then you want to use your wrist for those micro readjustments and your fingertips for those micro readjustments onto the target. And that's one thing that's going to help you out a lot. I actually went back to my huge mouse pad because I love having that space, right? I love having the desk as my mouse pad and not me having to worry about running out of room when I'm aiming or something like that. I'm actually going to be testing on another mouse pad. I went from my Artisan to this one. And I can go back and forth whenever. It's not that big of a deal, but again, it's for a comfort thing for me, just running out of mouse space or mouse pad. I hate that. And then when it comes to you actually getting on target, focus on your target. Focus on your target and don't worry really about like, oh, I have to correct this much or do this. No, just focus on your target, and over time you'll kind of get used to the movements and play good players because their movement is a little different from, you know, bot movement, we could say. So that's one thing that's going to help you out with your tracking. Just play the game a lot. You'll kind of know where your centering needs to be onto people, and try to stay ADS once you track somebody. That's also going to help you out too. Because your hip fire to ADS is a slightly different sensitivity, especially if you're playing at 1.33 monitor coefficient or even playing at 1.78. It's never truly a one-to-one hip fire to ADS one-to-one ratio for your sensitivity. That's okay. You just want to get used to killing people aiming down sights. Just stay in ADS and try to flick onto different targets and try to think, okay, when I'm going from hip fire to ADS, I want to be centered on the target. But when you're already ADS, you kind of want to do the same thing. You want to be centered on the target, right? And you want to, that way it'll make it way easier to track that enemy, and it'll make it so much easier to stay consistent, right? And the big thing is just practice as much as you can. You know, some of us, we don't have all the time in the world to play this game, but as long as you stay consistent, that's like a big thing that's going to help. Guys, that's it for the video. Let me know down in the comment section below if these tips and tricks helped you out and what other tips and tricks you want to see. As always, remember, stay blessed and stay humble, and I'll catch you in another video. Peace.